Hey there, ready to dive into this deep dive with us?
Absolutely.
We're going to unpack what it takes to become a commercial director.
Yeah.
And trust me, this isn't just about like deciphering a job description.
Right.
We're going deep, deep, deep on how to ace those interviews.
Yes, we are. We're talking about really understanding what's behind those interview questions and how to deliver answers that resonate.
Ooh, I like that, answers that resonate. That's good.
Thank you.
So think of this as your cheat sheet to not just surviving, but thriving in that high-stakes conversation. And we've got a great resource to help us with this deep dive. RoleCatcher.
Yes.
We've got career guides and interview prep for tons of different jobs. And lucky for you, we're looking at the commercial director role today.
And what's fascinating here is that RoleCatcher's insights go way beyond the generic stuff you find online. They've analyzed thousands of interviews and job postings to figure out what really makes a candidate stand out.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's unpack this. First things first, what exactly does a commercial director do? It sounds impressive, but give us the inside scoop.
So think of it as steering a company towards commercial success. You're not just managing a team, you're shaping the strategy, driving revenue, and making those high-impact decisions that influence a company's bottom line. So it's really a dynamic role.
High impact, high stakes, no pressure.
Right.
Right. So when you're in that interview, how do you convey that you're the one to handle it? How do you convey that you can handle that kind of pressure?
That's where understanding the intent behind the questions is crucial. So let's say they hit you with, tell me about your experience managing commercial operations. They're not just looking for a chronological rundown of your resume.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to read between the lines.
Exactly.
Trying to see if you've got that it factor.
Precisely. They want to hear about your leadership style, how you've motivated teams, dealt with challenges, and most importantly, what were the outcomes? What did you actually achieve?
So instead of just saying, like, I managed a sales team, you'd want to.
Exactly. Give them specifics like, I led a team of 10 sales representatives, and we consistently exceeded our quarterly targets by an average of 15%.
Oh, I like it.
This involved implementing a new sales training program, something I spearheaded, and a strategic account management system that streamlined our approach.
It's all about painting that picture of success, right?
Okay.
Let's say the interviewer switches gears and asks, how do you stay up to date with industry trends? What's the best way to tackle that one?
Yeah. They're not going to quiz you on the latest TikTok dance, thankfully.
Okay, good.
What they really want to know is, are you curious? Are you proactive? Are you engaged in your field? Because the commercial landscape changes so quickly.
It's true. It does. It's not enough to just rest on your laurels. You got to be ahead of the curve.
Precisely. This is where you can mention things like subscribing to industry publications. Think Advertising Age, Marketing Week, attending conferences, even those online webinars. Those are great too. Don't forget the power of networking either.
It's all about showing you're a lifelong learner, always adapting, always evolving.
Right. And you can even weave in an example like, recently I attended a conference on, say, the changing landscape of consumer behavior, and I implemented some of those insights into our latest marketing campaign.
Oh, I like that. You're connecting your knowledge to action, which is exactly what a commercial director does.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about a question that can really trip people up. Describe a time you had to make a difficult business decision.
Ooh, good one.
Because everyone makes mistakes, right?
Right.
But how you handle pressure, that's key.
It's all about that judgment. You can't just say, well, one time I accidentally deleted all the customer data.
Right.
Although I'd love to hear that story later. But for the interview, you'd want to.
Choose a situation that highlights your analytical skills, your ability to assess risk, and how you make tough calls under pressure.
So you're saying don't shy away from those challenging experiences.
Exactly. Instead, embrace them.
I like it.
For instance, in my previous role, we were faced with declining sales for a particular product line. I took the initiative to analyze the market data, weighed the risks and benefits of different options, and ultimately made the tough decision to discontinue the line.
Wow.
This required some difficult conversations, but ultimately it saved the company money and allowed us to invest in more promising areas.
That's a powerful example. You've got the context, the challenge, your thought process, and the outcome.
And notice how it highlights those critical thinking skills that are essential for a commercial director, which, if you recall, are highlighted as essential skills in RoleCatcher's career guide for this role.
Oh, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. So not only are you answering the question directly, but you're also subtly weaving in those keywords and skills that are going to make your answer even stronger.
Precisely. And that's something that RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you with.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
So their platform lets you input the job description and then analyzes your answers to practice interview questions. And it's suggesting ways to better align your experience with the specific requirements of the role.
It's like having a personal editor for your interview prep.
It is. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
That's amazing. I love it.
It's true. Having those tools can make a real difference, especially when you're prepping for those more behavioral questions, like how do you motivate your team to achieve their goals? You can't just say, I'm a great motivator and call it a day.
Right. They're going to want to see those receipts.
Yeah.
So how do you demonstrate those leadership skills in a way that's genuine and impactful?
Think about the actions, not just the adjectives. So instead of saying, I'm inspiring, tell them about a time you rallied your team around a challenging goal. For example, in my previous role, we were lagging behind on our sales targets for the quarter. I organized a team-building event focused on identifying solutions and brainstorming creative strategies. This not only boosted morale, but also led to a 10% increase in sales by the end of the quarter.
I love that. You're showcasing your leadership style by, demonstrating, not just telling.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to personalize it. Talk about your own leadership journey, what motivates you, and how that translates to how you motivate others.
Okay, I like it. Speaking of motivation, how about those times when you have a million things on your plate? I bet commercial directors are master jugglers. How do you answer that dreaded prioritization question in an interview?
It's a classic, right? How do you prioritize your work as a commercial director? And you're right, it's all about balance. It's about strategic thinking. This is where you can showcase your knowledge of frameworks like, say, the Eisenhower matrix, which helps you categorize tasks by urgency and importance, or the Pareto principle, that 80-20 rule, where you focus on the 20% of activities that drive 80% of the results.
Okay, wait, pause for a second. For those of us who aren't familiar with those frameworks, like the Eisenhower matrix, the Pareto principle, can you break those down a bit?
Absolutely. So the Eisenhower matrix, it's a great tool for visual people. You literally create a grid with 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. And it helps you decide what to tackle first, what to delegate, what to potentially eliminate. The Pareto principle, on the other hand, it's all about focusing your energy on the task that will have the biggest impact. It's about working smarter, not harder.
That makes so much sense. So in the interview, you could say,
I typically utilize the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize my tasks, ensuring that I'm dedicating my time and energy to activities that are both urgent and impactful. I also find the Pareto principle to be a valuable tool for identifying and focusing on those high-value activities that will drive the most significant results for the company.
ooh, I like it. Gotta love a good framework, right? It just shows that you've got a system, you're organized, you're strategic, which I guess is what they're looking for in a commercial director.
Exactly.
Okay, let's up the stakes a bit. What about a question like, can you describe your approach to developing and executing a sales strategy? This one feels like a whole presentation in itself.
You're not wrong, but that's good news because it gives you a chance to really shine and showcase your expertise.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to get a little technical here. Think of it as walking them through your process.
So you're saying don't be afraid to nerd out a little bit.
Exactly. So start by talking about your market research process. Do you conduct customer service, competitive analyses? How do you identify your target market? Then walk them through how you translate those insights into an actionable plan.
It's like building a house, right? You need that strong foundation of market research before you can even think about putting up walls or a roof.
That's a great analogy. And just like a house, a good sales strategy needs to be built to last, but also adaptable to changing conditions. So you can wrap up by talking about how you monitor and measure your results and make adjustments as needed.
So it's not just about creating a plan. It's about being flexible, agile, responsive. I like it. It's like that saying, plans are worthless, but planning is everything. Okay, next question. Can you describe a time you had to negotiate a complex business deal? This one makes me think of those, intense negotiation scenes in movies.
It can definitely feel that way, but remember, this isn't about being a bull in a china shop.
Right.
It's about being strategic, diplomatic, and finding mutually beneficial solutions.
It's more like a dance than a fight.
Exactly. Think about a time you navigated a complex negotiation, whether it was with a client, a vendor, or even internally within your own company. Choose a situation that showcases your problem-solving skills and your ability to build consensus.
So instead of just saying, I'm a great negotiator, you'd want to.
Exactly. Walk them through your thought process. For example, In a previous role, I was tasked with negotiating a contract with a new vendor who was offering a lower price but had some concerns about their delivery timelines. Instead of just focusing on the bottom line, I took the time to understand their concerns and worked with them to develop a phased rollout plan that addressed their limitations while still meeting our needs.
That's a great example of finding that win-win solution. You're
Exactly.
demonstrating your ability to listen, collaborate, and find creative solutions that work for everyone involved. I love it.
Yeah, and speaking of showcasing your skills,
Okay.
let's shift gears to the world of marketing with this question.
Okay.
Can you tell me about a successful marketing campaign you led? Now's your time to shine a light on your creativity and strategic thinking.
It's like those highlight reels, right?
Thanks, thing.
You want to pick a campaign that really showcases your ability to connect with an audience and drive results.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be the biggest, splashiest campaign either. Choose something that demonstrates your understanding of the target market, how you crafted a message that resonated with them, and ultimately, what were the outcomes?
Did you increase brand awareness, drive sales, generate leads? Give them those quantifiable results.
Right. And don't be afraid to geek out a little bit about the tactics and tools you used. Did you leverage social media marketing, content marketing, email campaigns? Show them you've got that data-driven approach.
It's all about connecting the dots between creativity and those measurable results. Now, remember earlier when we were talking about RoleCatcher's AI and how it can help you tailor your resume and practice interview answers.
Absolutely. And here's another cool thing they offer. You can actually input specific interview questions, like this marketing campaign one we're discussing, and their AI will analyze your responses, giving you feedback on how to make them even stronger.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal marketing guru in your pocket, helping you craft the perfect response. I love it. Okay, let's keep rolling with these questions. Can you describe a time you identified a problem or opportunity in the commercial space and took the initiative to address it? Now, this one feels like it's all about being proactive and a problem solver.
Exactly. They want to see that you're not just going through the motions, but that you're actively looking for ways to improve things, to innovate, and to drive growth.
It's about having that entrepreneurial spirit, even if you're working within a larger organization.
Right. So think about a time when you spotted a problem, whether it was a process inefficiency, a gap in the market, or even a missed opportunity. Then walk them through the steps you took to address it. Did you gather data, conduct research, present your findings to key stakeholders?
You want to showcase your initiative,
Mm,
your ability to think critically, and your problem-solving skills.
exactly. And don't forget to highlight the positive impact of your actions. Did you save the company money, improve customer satisfaction? Those outcomes are what really seal the deal.
It's all about those wins, big or small. Now, let's talk about a question that makes a lot of people squirm. What are your salary expectations? I feel like this is the part of the interview where everyone gets a little awkward.
It's true. Talking about money can feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's a crucial part of the process. The key here is preparation.
Don't just wing it and throw out a number you haven't really thought through.
Exactly. Do your research beforehand. Use sites like Glassdoor or Salary.com to understand the average salary range for commercial director roles in your industry and location.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to salary negotiations.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And remember, it's not just about base salary. Consider the entire compensation package, including benefits, bonuses, stock options, even those perks like professional development opportunities.
It's all part of the equation when you're evaluating your worth. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. The interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" This isn't just a formality, is it?
Absolutely not.
No.
This is your chance to show that you're genuinely interested, that you've been listening, and that you've done your homework.
It's your turn to interview them.
Precisely. Ask thoughtful questions that demonstrate your understanding of the company's challenges and opportunities.
For example, instead of asking, "What does your company do?" Which, come on, you should already know that you could ask. "I read about your company's recent expansion into new markets. What are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities you see in those markets?"
Now that shows you've done your research and you're thinking strategically about the company's future. You could also ask about the company culture opportunities for professional growth or even their approach to sustainability or social responsibility if those things align with your values.
It's your chance to get a feel for what it would be like to actually work there.
Uh,
Okay, last question from the interview guide, and this one always feels a bit like a trap. What is your greatest weakness?
yes. The classic disguise your weakness as a strength question. But you're right, it can feel like a trap. The key here is to be authentic, but strategic.
So no saying I'm just too much of a perfectionist, right?
Probably not the best approach. Instead, choose a weakness that you're genuinely working on and frame it in a positive light.
So, for example, you could say,
You could say, I've been working on improving my delegation skills. In the past, I've sometimes taken on too much, wanting to ensure everything is done perfectly. However, I've realized that delegating effectively is essential for team growth and for my own development as a leader. I've been actively seeking out opportunities to delegate more and to provide my team with the support and guidance they need to succeed.
that's great. You've turned a potential weakness into an opportunity for growth,
Exactly. And you've shown that you're self-aware and committed to continuous improvement.
which are definitely qualities you want to highlight in an interview.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here today. We've tackled those tough interview questions, we've got some great career insights, and we've even uncovered some secret weapons thanks to RoleCatcher and their amazing AI-powered platform.
It's all about setting yourself up for success. Exactly. So, to everyone out there listening who's on the path to becoming a commercial director, you've got this. With the right preparation, a healthy dose of confidence, and maybe a little help from RoleCatcher, you're going to crush that interview.
Absolutely, go get them.
And there you have it, your deep dive into becoming a commercial director. Remember, it's not just about landing the job. It's about leading with impact, driving those results, and making your mark on the commercial world. Until next time, happy job hunting.